Live from the CBS Broadcast Center in Los Angeles, this is CBS 2 News at 11 p.m.
Wet weather is moving across parts of Southern California tonight, taking a live look at the radar as a second system in a week makes its way across the region.
In fact, our camera's view of downtown L.A. tonight has been blurred by raindrops just covering the lens.
Yes, it was a wet and soggy night in Porter Ranch as light but steady rain came down for much of the evening. In fact, it's been wet and cold for most of the day across the Southland.
The rain isn't over yet either. We have live team coverage, including CBS 2's Tom Waite and Stacey Butler.
But let's begin with Garth Kemp, who's been tracking the rain's path. Garth?
Yeah, Pat. Well, we saw a little heavier rain. It wasn't that it was unexpected. We said we'd be on occasionally a heavy bit of rain, so we had a flood advisory. Went up for the Woolsey fire area, but things are okay out that area. That means between about 7:30 and 8:30, we were seeing a rainfall rate that was about a half an inch an hour. So they got a little bit concerned out to the area. Probably some minor flow going on through the area right now. Still some lighter cells moving through, and then a little bit heavier rain. That's at about 1/4 of an inch an hour right here over towards Decker Canyon. You can see it moving into there. Up by the 23 Moore Park, the 118, right over by Princeton Road there, and up by Tierra Rajada, you can see some pretty decent rain falling there right now. And then we've been picking it up also from Reseda all the way across the 405 over by La Tuna Canyon, up where we're getting a little bit of lifting over La Crescenta, Glendale area as well. We've been picking up some moderate rain into that area. And then just widely scattered showers everywhere else. We'll talk about tomorrow, a little more chance of some heavier rainfall. I'll explain it to you coming up in a few minutes. Back to you guys.
All right, Garth, thanks. So we're looking at a cold, wet night all across the Southland, and so we're going to go check in with CBS 2's Tom Waite. He is live in Porter Ranch with a look at what's happening there. Tom?
Hi, Jeff. Yeah, it is cold and it is wet here in Porter Ranch. There's been a bit of a break tonight from what it was earlier. Very heavy rain earlier. Right now, some sprinkles, and it made getting around pretty challenging. Steady rain lashed the Southland throughout the night. In the valley, it was wet everywhere. Many folks may not have been prepared, and even if you were, let's face it, routine chores become a bit more challenging.
When I came to Santa Clarita, it started raining around 1:40, and it was pouring over there.
So you don't mind driving in it?
No, I actually do, but I have to drive.
And earlier when I was in the store and I took my lunch breaks, it just poured, and then after I go back, it stopped and then poured again.
Folks out tonight told us the downpours also put some folks on edge.
Everybody's fighting. Everybody's fighting in the street, yeah.
It's because of the rain, you think?
Yeah.
People can't really deal with it.
Yeah, no.
Slick roads made travel tough. On the 170 near the 5 split, a bad crash caused a big backup, and rush hour lasted much later into the evening thanks to the storms.
Well, I went to get my girls from school, and it was like really, like the traffic, everything, it was very, very bad.
But lots of folks are also happy to see the rain. Of course, we need it here in Southern California, but of course, there's also lots of concern about the burn areas. Reporting live in Porter Ranch, I'm Tom Waite, CBS 2 News.
Thank you, Tom. Well, the rain could pick up in Orange County tonight. Thunderstorms are possible, even waterspouts off the coast. CBS 2 Orange County reporter Stacey Butler is live at Newport Beach, where they're getting ready for more rain. Stacey.
Yeah, but Pat, for now, it's pretty dry. It has been raining on and off since about 7:30 tonight. Take a look at this video. We shot this along PCH. You can see just a light drizzle at times. It got a little bit heavy. Drivers just moving very slowly along the one. There was a bit of a wind, a very cold wind out here, as it was hard to find locals actually walking around, but I did catch up with some visitors, and this is what they had to say.
I actually love it. It's a weather we don't really get very often. We get a lot of snow, so I really embrace the rain. I love it.
I love it personally because I'm a fan of the cold.
Well, it's not that bad. I mean, it's whatever. I mean, it's not crazy right now, so we're fine.
That's right. It's just soggy enough to be inconvenient, but everyone agrees right now we need this rain. Pat and Jeff, back to you.
Indeed, Stacey, thank you. We have breaking news now out of Cal State Northridge. This graffiti sparked a big scare on campus. Somebody wrote mass shooting in Sierra Hall, then wrote the date, 12/12/18. There was also a swastika underneath that message, as well as other hateful phrases elsewhere. Just about an hour ago, Sky 2 was over Cal State Northridge as campus police were patrolling the building where that message was written. Now, the university has released a statement, came out tonight. CSUN is aware of the hateful and offensive graffiti in Sierra Hall. CSUN police are investigating this use of hateful language and symbols and threat against our community. We are working to remove this graffiti immediately. CSUN condemns this in the strongest possible terms.
Now to the hunt for a killer after a mother and daughter were found murdered in Monrovia. CBS 2's Hermela Aragawi is live at the scene with more information. Hermela.
Good evening. 11 hours later, as you can see behind me, the scene is still active. The coroner just arrived. Investigators are still combing through the scene. Some of them are still in that second floor apartment where the two bodies were discovered earlier this afternoon. A murder suspect is on the run tonight, wanted for allegedly killing a mother and her teenage daughter. Police are asking for the public's help in finding 33-year-old Nimrod Perez Guerrero, who they say is considered to be armed and dangerous.
I'm blown away. I've lived in Monrovia all my life, and I've lived right down a couple houses down, and this doesn't happen here.
Police say just before 1 o'clock Wednesday afternoon, a concerned caller asked them to check this apartment on the 800 block of West Colorado Street. The 17-year-old girl had been absent from school for days.
Their friends have not seen them at school, the young girl, for the last 3 days, so we came out here on a welfare check.
The teen was a student at Monrovia High School directly across the street from the home. In a statement, the school district says, quote, the teachers, staff, and students of Monrovia Unified School Districts are mourning tonight because of the loss of one of our Monrovia High School students. There is no question that a tragedy of this nature affects our entire community. It's difficult to process the death of anyone, much less someone so young and so promising. Police tell us Guerrero may be driving a gray 2014 Toyota RAV4 with a California license plate 132. If you see anything or if you know anything about this incident, you're asked to call them. Reporting live in Monrovia, Hermela Aragawi, CBS 2 News.
Hermela, thank you. There's a search going on for a sexual predator. Detectives believe a parolee met a woman riding the Metro Green Line and then lured her behind a stairwell where he raped her. CBS 2's Rachel Kim has the disturbing details.
When a young woman fell asleep and missed her stop on the Green Line just before 11 a.m. on Sunday, police say she was approached by this man who befriended her. Investigators say 35-year-old Carrie Frank Lathan offered to buy her something to eat. So they got off the train, bought food, and got back on, eventually getting off again at the Douglas Street station in El Segundo.
They had eaten. He had told her and rused her into saying that he had to meet somebody else in the city of El Segundo, and she agreed to follow him.
Police say Lathan guided the woman to a nearby secluded stairwell behind a parking garage where he sexually assaulted her. Investigators showed us on a map where they headed once they got off the train.
Continue to walk this path, and what he did, he's familiar with the area. He walked between, there's a walkway between this hedge line and a parking structure, and it appears that the sexual assault took place right where my cursor is here in the stairwell.
Police tell us Lathan then ran away. They say he's a transient who is on parole for criminal threats and should be considered dangerous.
He does frequent the Green Line location, and he has actually been seen in our city along with adjacent cities.
As police search for Lathan, they want women who ride the Green Line to be on alert. We caught up with 2 riders tonight.
I'll be always checking. I usually carry something with me so I can fight somebody off, but to know that, I'm really concerned now.
Either on my phone or just look down, or that's pretty much it. I don't do eye contact at all.
You don't talk to anyone, you mind your own business?
No, mind my own business, yeah.
Police are now looking for Lathan in areas he's known to frequent. If you see him or have any information, please call El Segundo Police. Reporting in El Segundo, Rachel Kim, CBS 2 News.
Another high-profile burglary. This time, thieves struck the home of an LA Charger while his kids were at home. This time, it's Chargers player Antonio Gates. His kids were reportedly at home this weekend when several men broke into the garage and cars at Gates' Encino home, stealing several items. The crooks never entered the house, though. The Gates children were not hurt. Police recently arrested several gang members for break-ins at other celebrity homes. They are not saying if the Gates' break-in is related.
We want to now go live and give you a look at St. Martin's Episcopal Church in Houston, Texas, where tonight former President George H.W. Bush lies in repose. The nation paused today to salute a president And a patriot.
And tonight he is back home in Texas for one last time before being laid to rest. The body of the former president arrived in Texas this evening. Earlier today at the National Cathedral in Washington, D.C., he was remembered as a family man, a war hero, and a leader. His son, President George W. Bush, delivered an emotion-filled eulogy for his father.
His was the brightest of 1,000 points of light. In victory, he shared credit. When he lost, he shouldered the blame.
Following tomorrow's memorial service in Houston, Mr. Bush's body will be transported via train to his presidential library in College Station, Texas, and he will be buried next to his wife Barbara and their daughter Robin, who died back in 1953.
This video, seen millions of times on YouTube, has landed the owner of that tiger cub in big trouble with the law. Plus,
I'm Chris Holmstrom, live in downtown LA, where a man was pushed into traffic by a complete stranger. How police made the arrest. That story coming up.
And kids can't stop doing dances from Fortnite. Well, now a rapper is suing the makers of the popular game. He says they stole his moves.
and here's a look at the guests tonight on The Late Show with Stephen Colbert.